Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Amy and Bev. What's happening, sister?
What's happening? Well, one of the things I would say is definitely happening is there's all kinds of stuff happening. It's like holy shift. There's like holy shift going on all over this planet. But I feel like
I
on
concur.
energetically, it's happening with us too, to the point of where I'm having dreams at night. I know I'm having dreams, but I feel like there's a clearing or something that's happening because they're kind of distant, but I'll wake up feeling different, which is kind of strange. And one of the things that I've really underestimated is the power of breath.
Hmm.
Our breath is so freaking important. One of our dogs, he has seizures occasionally, and actually, we've pretty much almost eliminated them completely by giving him fish oil and magnesium every day. We make sure he gets healthy fats and stuff like that. But he had one the other night, so we had to get up out of bed. You know, it happened at night. It was like probably around 10 o'clock at night. It's all of a sudden happened. So we both get out of bed and we kind of hold him and we just tell him how much we love him and stuff. And I just stopped and I let Freeman do the talking, and I had kept my hands on Jedi, and I kept taking deep breaths and blowing, and the seizure didn't last very long, which is interesting. It was very quick, but it was almost like he gets an overload and this kind of stuff happens. So that's why I say the power of breath. For me, I've underestimated it so much, and when you start to recognize how important breath is, and you start noticing I'm feeling tense or I'm upset, you're pulled into a situation, you stop for a second and take a breath. When I stop for a second and take a breath, I'll notice in my body where it's at. And it's like almost like my body's like, oh, thank God she's paying attention to this suit,
I have,
this
go ahead.
vehicle we're driving around in.
Right, right. Yeah, I have been outwardly sighing periodically through my days, just just however it comes out, because it's just like I just feel my shoulders just drop, even though, I think I'm relaxed until I exhale. But yes, uh, the breath, along with that, having the opportunity in a safe space is, when you place your hands on your body, and then with the breath, it's um, bringing comfort to the nervous system. So your parasympathetic nervous system will feel that, um, and calm down as well. I know for myself, for several years, people said, relax. And I thought I was, but I wasn't. And I didn't know it because it was just a natural state to be very tense in my body because I did it every single day that I was awake. And to actually notice my body release that tension and relax was crazy. I had no idea until, like you said, you pay attention to your body, you feel it, you recognize it. I when I teach a meditation class, and sometimes in my other classes, I'll in, do an intentional stress experience in the body. And when they get through to the relaxation part, that they it's just like I didn't even know. They have the same reaction. I didn't even know I was that tense. I didn't even know what relaxation felt like. Um, and taking them through that process is it's quite impressive to them of how they feel or what they
Exactly.
haven't been feeling, but they thought they were.
Yeah. And then you said you've been sighing a lot, and that is such a huge a release. It's clearing of the throat chakra, it's clearing of the energy, it's a sound. And I catch myself doing it, I catch Freeman doing it a lot. I'll be like, so what's going on? And it's like I realize really nothing is going on. It's just another way of relaxing, like noticing that the body's needing relaxation when we're not paying attention to it. It's just automatically trying to spill off any of this excess energy that we have. Talking about all this stuff, I've had some, and it's this has been my experience, that if it works for somebody else, fabulous. But what I've noticed, we're talking about our vehicle today, our body, our avatar. To me, it's like an avatar. People call it all kinds of things, a skin suit. There's all kinds. There's all kinds. We can go full spectrum on that, but we don't need to. But what I'm noticing is I was having a conversation with Freeman the other day, and I noticed, we always talk about the right side being a dominant, masculine, the left side being more of the feminine and the receiving, and the right side's the giving, all this other stuff. And I noticed when I stopped and was listening to him and I was paying attention, it was almost as if my attention was drawn to the left side of my face, my left eye. I started receiving information that was so different than I've ever received from him before. And I've been practicing this with people now. And so that when I'm speaking, if I'm speaking, I'm going to be noticing, oh, there's air, it's distracting me with my right eye. But anyways, when I'm speaking, if I'm the one speaking and I'm bringing forward this information, it can either come like through my third eye, my throat, but if I put my attention even on my right eye, you're putting yourself, you're giving your body attention, but you're allowing receiving at the same time to be able to give this information out. And then when that person's speaking and you focus on that left eye, it's like it was almost like, hey, someone didn't put this in the handbook. I just figured this out about my this body, this vehicle that I'm traveling around in, because it's given me some different guidance lately, and I'm noticing a difference afterwards. I'm noticing even how I've received information. And it's pretty amazing. It's so simple. It's these little subtle things. But that's just been some of the stuff that I've been experiencing lately and playing with.
And that is to me is it's how we receive information or how we are going to learn and grow within ourselves, that this is something you're experiencing right now, that there's a reason why you're experiencing it, whether it's just for you to be able to receive information in a certain way, or you might see a comment somewhere on social or in a conversation and say, there's this weird thing going on with my eyes. That opens up a conversation for you to say, yeah, I've noticed this and I've been practicing with it, and here's what I have found. And now you become a guide for others who are experiencing something they don't know how to explain. So the the difference, I think, is um, that you've had different tools that you've used over the years, and like, oh, this is happening now, let me pay attention to that and let me get good at this and let me see where it takes me. Whereas other people, they just, oh, that was weird, and ignore it or move on, or they give no attention to it. So we're in that space, and I'm going to include myself because I have different things that happen too, and I'm like, oh, well, my reaction is a lot of times, well, that was weird or that was interesting, and then I'm curious. Now I want to explore it and see why am I experiencing this? Because this is kind of cool, right? So, yeah, so it's like giving people permission to, when something weird, quote unquote, weird happens, because that's typically the label we give it. Pay attention to it, because there's usually something pretty cool that's attached to that.
It truly is. And it's our guidance. It's our vehicle. We go out and buy all these new vehicles that are out there and they have all these freaking so much technology and stuff in it that most people don't even know what all their vehicle can do. And it's basically the same thing. Our body is that way too. We just don't know what it's capable of until we start listening to it or until we start noticing it, seeing the patterns. It's like, I don't need to see patterns outside of self. It's so funny that this is coming forth through me right now because I was asking this morning while I was sitting outside. It's not necessary for us to actually notice all the patterns outside of us. I can notice the patterns within inside of myself because a lot of times we operate from our childhood, from the navigational systems of the people that were around us at the time, and sometimes their navigational systems were very askew, but that's all we knew, so that's how we learned how to navigate, and so we kind of can perceive things differently. And then now I'm learning my vehicle from my perspective and not from somebody else's filters, not from somebody else's experiences. And the more that I do that, the more that I'm noticing more and more things. The more I'm starting to notice more of my heart, but my focus is really on my heart. Like even talking to you right now, I love the color of the shirt because it really is really great. really great. But and then even saying that, it makes me feel more uplifted, and because I recognize that, noticing those things, noticing the little subtleties that bring us joy. I have a friend that has sold her house. She's one of my clients, and she's moved to Henderson. And she's like, do you want these plants? We're talking plants that are, I have a short bed truck. I can't even put them in the back of my truck. That's how tall they are. They're massive plants. We have gotten them all to my house, and now I sit there and I look around and I'm like, man, these plants are freaking happy here. And it makes me happy too. But I can only have this awareness with me with me being in those moments to notice all those things, with me being outside. And that kind of eliminates so many of our problems just by being. And that's where breath kind of comes into place. Maybe it's not so much these tools that I'm learning about this vehicle. Maybe it's not so much that. Maybe it is just more bringing me into the now, and so that I can receive the information. It's making me aware right now. That's pretty awesome too. And it's something so simple. So it doesn't mean that if someone else is trying, like if they're looking at someone and really trying to focus on their left eye to like bring in whatever information so they can have some understanding about whatever the person is saying across from me or whatever your information you're focused on. But it's like, maybe it's not necessarily that. Maybe that's just how it's gotten my attention to bring me present.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to what you said about the basics and the technology that we have now in our appliances. Um, I had to go buy a fridge yesterday, and I was not interested in all the technology stuff. I went a basic. I want the water and the ice in the door. I want space in my fridge, and I want an ice maker. That's all I needed. I didn't need all the bells and whistles and the Bluetooth to your phone so you can control it. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Simple. This is me. This is my life. I want it simple. And that is the breath is a basic tool. It is the foundation of any practice we have is the breath. And I sometimes, not always, sometimes I have to remind myself to go back to the basics. Go back to the basics, sit, be present, and breathe. That's it. That's all I need to do because it that alone does so many things for us. We again, we lower our stress level in the body. It slows down our breathing. It brings more oxygen to the body, to the brain, to the blood. It opens us up for our internal guidance. So, guidance from spirit, God, whoever you're connecting to. And just that sense of calmness, the benefits of just the breath is such a basic thing. So basic. I don't think there's anything more basic than that is the breath with our body.
Agreed. Because we do it all the time, and we just, it's another one of those things you see it all the time, so you just overlook it. But it is so basic. It can make you feel so much better in just a matter of seconds. And I was just doing it too, by the way, when you were talking about it. So see how easy it was, people?
It's
No
just,
one even has to know. Slow, deep breaths in and out. I mean, it's such a huge relief to this body.
even when you're having, okay, so let me just say this, ladies. When you're giving birth, when you're preparing to give birth, Lamaze class, right? Where do they focus? The entire thing is focused on breathing. Use these breathing techniques to help you get through the pain, the pushing, and all the things, the breath.
Meditation. It's like that's what they're teaching him to do. I never ever
Yeah.
would have thought that.
And when your friend is having a moment of crisis, what do you say? Calm down. Well, no, they're not going to calm down because they're like on high alert about something. Okay, let's breathe. It's a different message because when somebody says calm down, you're just like, I can't, I have this crisis going on, right? And you're just all wrapped up into it. But you're just like, let's take a breath. okay, let's think through this. Let's look at our options. Let's talk this through. Like when you take a breath, it calms everything down. Now your thinking is clearer. You can process things in a different way. It's very difficult to do that when you're wrapped up in the trauma and drama of an experience. We get tunnel vision. We get so pinpointed on one thing about one person and what they said and how they said it, why they said it, instead of just, okay, let me just take a breath here and let me really think this through. And this is, we don't need to go down this route, but I will tell you, majority of the time, I see my responsibility in the experience, and then I'm aware of what I need to change for me so that either I handle this situation better when it shows up again, and I wouldn't get as wrapped up in the trauma and drama of it. Or there's also those moments when I'm getting wrapped up in something that's not even mine, but I'm
Yeah.
taking responsibility of it. But I don't realize I'm taking responsibility of it because I too am a recovering fixer, and I still get wrapped up in things that are not mine, and and go down the route of trying to fix it and be responsible for it. And it's not even mine. But if I was to take a breath and just kind of step, like even just leaning back in my chair, I'm just like, let me just sit back on this one and just look at it from a bigger perspective. Then I'm like, why why am I getting all balled up about this? Why am I stressing myself about this? Isn't my crap. It's not my experience. It's not, I'm witnessing it for a reason. And now that I know that I'm getting involved because I still have those fixer tendencies, I bam, I'm done. Like, oh, this is not mine. And the sooner I recognize that, the sooner I pull back. I'm like, nope, this, but I couldn't do it without taking that breath and just being able to pull back, pull my energy back from it, from the situation, and look. And it started with breath. And the reason why I can say this, because I've recently I had the experience of it,
Nice.
getting too emotionally invested in something that is not mine to carry. And I was just like, whoa, let's come back here and let's just pause and let's breathe and look at this bigger picture. And why am I getting so stressed out about this when it is not my responsibility? It's not mine.
Yeah. Because we connect to people so easily, we don't even realize we've been doing it since childhood. We connect to them so easily, can pick up their stuff. And in that moment, it's such an opportunity to be the metronome, to be the higher vibrational frequency. Because in that moment, you can recognize, oh, wait a minute, because you backed off and you can see those situations differently. It's not my energy, taking more breaths. Then you stop for a second and you kind of realize my energy has aligned with this person's energy. How can I raise my frequency up right now? And I'll call on angels, I'll call on Yeshua, Yahweh, whatever. I'll call on whatever I need to call on in that moment, whatever pops into my head to help bring me higher. Because then I can be the higher vibrational frequency in the room, and it's going to allow others to be able to shift themselves. And that's how, if we want to use the word fixer, because I've been the same person, that's how we fix things. We fix from the inside and it reflects out because there's no reason for that person to mirror anymore. Where, hey, wait a minute, you got your systems, your vehicles letting you know there's alerts going off all over the place. You're noticing these things. You're about to run out of oil. Your engine's overheating. Like all these things are happening. You passed over the yellow line. Whatever. All these things are happening all at one time. But as soon as you take a breath, you're like, oh, this looks totally different from over here, and I can shift my energy. This isn't mine. And then this is the fun part. If you play with this, then you get to watch the people around you all of a sudden have their ahas, all of a sudden have like their energy shifts. We didn't have to say anything, we didn't have to do anything, we didn't have to touch them, we didn't have to, there was nothing that needed to be done. And that's the cue right there, or clue. Nothing needed to be done, simply the breath. That goes right back to the same thing, simply the breath, because your guidance is going to let you know what's best for that every situation. every situation is going to be a little bit different. But I just know for me, the higher I can stay in a vibrational frequency and then let everybody else catch up. I don't have to do anything. They can just catch up with the frequency, or you might watch them just leave and then they'll go figure their stuff out. But you shifted the whole energy of the space because we're that powerful.
Yeah. And it might sound so if somebody's thinking about this, I need to calm down to raise my vibration. What do you mean by that? Um, so I equate energy or emotion. I equate emotions, so like lower vibrational emotions, which means shame, guilt, fear, anger, judgment, criticism. Like to me, that's all lower vibrational energy, emotion. And um, I think of those emotions like the movement of an earthquake. So when we're in those vibrational frequencies, our body like is the energy we're putting out is like an earthquake going out. It's rigid motion going out. And then that's the energy you're putting out into the environment, no matter where you are. And if you're in a public place, you're going to match up. People are going to match up to that energy. And then it's going to feel like a shit show all day. When we take that breath and calm our nervous system, calm our body, and we're in a different emotional state, peace, calm, serene, blissful, whatever word might feel appropriate at the time. That to me is like when you throw a pebble into the water and now you have waves. And that wave is just so much calmer and rippling out to people who are going to then match up to that energy as well. And same, it's the energy you're putting out into your environment. Now, when you get into those states of calmness, peace, bliss, or serene, fun, joy, excitement, love, those are higher vibrational frequencies. So when you calm the body down, you're raising your frequency level. So I just wanted to have that explanation for people who didn't understand what that meant.
Nice. Another thing that it kind of that I could add to that is when I feel sometimes when I'm doing a massage or I'm doing any type of energy on anybody, I might feel like a chaos within them. And I like that you use the earthquake analogy. Also, another analogy I would use is having popcorn in a microwave without a container and popping, cooking it. Because that's the way I would tell people your energy feels like someone just threw popcorn or corn into the microwave and turned it on to pop popcorn. And I said, it's just going everywhere. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just chaotic. There's no flow to it. And that's the whole difference there. When you're in more of a peace, there's more of a flow. There's like more of a flow of receiving. There's more of a flow of giving, and you're giving from a different space. You're giving from a heart. You're not giving from an empty checking account. You're not giving from an empty cup. You're not over giving. You're just allowing this flow to flow through you. And that took me forever to even understand what that meant. You don't have to go in and do a massage and give away all your energy. You don't have to do all these things, but I so wanted these things to happen that I was trying to will these things. I was not allowing flow. So then now you come into another form of energy, which is push. Well, it's not, I don't have to push that way, but so on the opposite of pushing out that energy or being angry and you're walking and you're all pissed off and that anger is like being pushed out of you, when you're in the flow and you're in your heart space, well, now you can take a nice deep breath in. And when you breathe out, you're like blowing out your heart out into that whole space. And it's totally different. It totally changes everything. And it feels different with inside your own vehicle, your own body.
And I just want to add, I tell people this too in my classes and stuff. All this stuff is proven facts as far as vibrational frequency. And we're not making this stuff up. So just want to put that out there. There's lots of research about um, the frequency of emotion. I know Abraham Hicks has included in there a level of vibrational frequency in their book. Ask and it is given. Uh, There's a doctor who did a study. I have his book in my library, but I can't think of his name at the moment. But there's been several research studies. The Heart Math Institute. There's plenty of resources and information out there if you want to research it. I think Joe Dispenza talks about it a lot. Bruce Lipton talks about it. Greg Braden talks about it. So um, we we're sharing the information that we have read and have understood, and it resonates with us. And so we're sharing that with you. So um, just like us being resourceful, you can be resourceful as well. So please, if anybody is having conversations like this, send them to this video or send them to the book you read or the other resources that you have. Um, just have the conversations and know that you can find us on many platforms. We're on, I'm sorry, my ankle itches. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spreaker, Spotify, Podcast Addict, and YouTube. And you just share the content that helps the creators, that helps the algorithms. It's free for you to share this. It's free for you to like it, to put a comment, and that helps us in getting these messages out. Bev and I decided 6 years ago to record our conversations, and these are not planned conversations. We hit record and we start talking, and sometimes we don't even know what we're going to talk about. So organic conversations, and they are not pre-planned. So with that, do you have any other words to add?
I would say right now, stop, take a few deep, slow breaths in and out. Do it like 3 to 5 times and let us know in the comments how you feel. What are you noticing in your body?
Yeah. And there are so many different breathing techniques. I mentioned Lamaze because there's certain breathing techniques they teach you. But YouTube is full of breathing techniques. And so just see what works for you. It's used in meditation a lot. So any meditation teacher is going to share breathing techniques. And yes, notice how you feel after you just sit and note and calm your nervous system is so beneficial. So, all right, friends, thanks for hanging out with us. Tea time with Amy and Bev, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.